Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Growing Kentucky's Leaders. I'm your host, Sheldon McKinney, and today we have a first-time guest on the show, and then you will have heard from the entire 2024-2025 Kentucky FFA State Officer team before they finish office. So, coming to you, we're recording about 2 weeks before State FFA Convention. They have less than 2 weeks left as Kentucky FFA State Officers. And today I have Luke Mullins, our Kentucky FFA State reporter, joining us. Luke, you can say hey.
Hi, guys.
And welcome back to our State FFA President, Trenton Page. Trenton, let him hear your voice.
Good to be here.
Yeah, so excited to have these guys back with us today. We're going to be talking about their year interview and a little bit of a preview of what FFA members can expect at their State FFA Convention. So, Luke, let's start with you. I have to tell you that you have maybe one of the most unique paths of any Kentucky FFA State officer that I have worked with. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and how your journey in FFA got started?
Well, like you said, my name's Luke Mullins, and I'm from Trimble County, Kentucky, which is the most northern county in Capital City region. But we're still there, and we're still proud to be there. We enjoy it. But Trimble County is a smaller chapter. We're one ag teacher chapter, and quite smaller school. I had one of the bigger graduating classes in Trimble County history, which is 120, and so most of them are 80. This year was 73. And so it was kind of one of those things is there wasn't many things to do in Trimble County. So I always knew I was going to join agriculture. My father joined it. My grandfather and my brother, all of them were very active in their chapters. So I always knew I was going to join it, but my brother greatly helped me with that. He was a couple of years before me. He was president when I was a freshman. So it was kind of a no-brainer. I was going to join FFA, and I just kind of took to it. It really helped me to grow as a leader and as a communicator, and I just loved it and wanted to give back to it. So I continued to take on leadership roles within our chapter and in the region and state, and I'm happy to give back and help others and encourage them to be the best that they can be.
Yeah. And you've had a great year. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your career goals? You're already a college graduate. I mean,
Yes,
that's pretty interesting. So
I guess
maybe
that's what you're
how
talking
that
about when
works.
you said
Yeah.
unique.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm a second year out. You can run your first year, second year out of high school. So I run my second, and so I went to community college and I took some college classes in high school. So I was able to graduate with 3 semesters. So I graduated in December with my associate's degree in ag business and marketing. And I
From
went
where?
to Henderson Community College. It's one of the
Yeah.
KCTCS schools.
Which in Henderson is not near where you're from.
No, it's 3 hours away.
Okay.
It was so far away, but not all the KCTCS schools offer agricultural degrees. And so there's
Okay.
one in the county right next to me, but they did not offer ag business. So when I looked at the map of all the ones that did, it was not the closest, but it was close. There were small towns around it. It was a big town itself. Like it seemed like it would fit me pretty well, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And so you moved to Henderson to
Mhm.
finish your degree at KCTCS. And so what are your career goals?
Well, ultimately, I want to be a farmer. And if I knew a way to really make a living just doing that, that's what I'd do. But I feel like I need to pay for my farm and everything else some other way and kind of just be a little bit less stressful on myself. And so I
Mhm.
want to be a crop insurance adjuster and an auctioneer because those are two avenues that don't take all of your time like a typical 9 to 5, but they will make you enough money that you can still cash flow a farm even in the bad years. And so I've started with a Great American Crop Insurance as a crop insurance adjuster back in March. And
Mhm.
I've really enjoyed it so far, what I've done. It's been an amazing time getting to go out and talk with farmers and kind of have a sense of helping them and getting
Mhm.
paid for it and learning about row crop industry as well, as
Yeah.
I was not raised on a row crop farm. And then with the auctioneering, I went to auction school and coming up, I'm going to take my test to become a licensed auctioneer. I'm thinking I'm going to wait till after convention because right now is a little bit of a stressful time with planning
Mhm.
for it. But right after convention, I'm going to take that. And I've already started working with a couple auctioneers and helping them with auctions. And I work at the local sale barn every Monday night, working cattle. And I've talked with the guy that owns that, and he'll let me start selling some goats and sheep once I become licensed. And so it's it's all coming together for me. I'm staying
Yeah.
extremely involved in agriculture and somehow making some money with it.
That's great. So I think you have a wonderful testimony of you have found your own path. You knew what you kind of wanted to do. You really took a unique way to get to college, probably a very affordable way to go to college. And yeah, and you're doing what you want to do. You've kind of piecemealed this together to make it work. And that's what I said by it's a unique journey. I don't think we've ever had a state FFA officer who is a college graduate who's working full time. And so it's pretty unique. You've been fun to work with, Luke.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so Trenton, let's talk to you. Welcome back. You were wrapping up your year as state FA president and your freshman year of college at the University of Kentucky. What three words would you use to describe this year?
Three words. Definitely impactful. I feel like that's one that everybody would say, but you don't really realize until you step in the role just the impact that this can have on you. I think that as state officers, we're expected to impact members as much as possible, but I would say that members has impacted me just as much as I've been able to impact them. So I've definitely been impacted heavily through this year. I would also say that just kind of, I guess it's not a word, but being able to see things from a different perspective.
Mm,
As a state officer, it's very different than being a member, but also similar in a lot of different lights. Able to go to all these different chapters around the state, and wanting to be an ag teacher myself, it's so cool to see all the different chapters, like how they do different things and the way they go about their processes. And I think that it'll make me a lot better ag teacher in the end. So I think being able to see all of them different perspectives from different members is really cool as well. And finally, I would just say it was really fun. I mean, we just had a great year, been able to see so many members and made sure that we knew that we were making friends along the way. State officers have the opportunity to really just make the impact on members, be friends with them, hopefully friendships that'll last a lifetime. So I think we had a lot of fun along the way, made a lot of jokes, especially me and Luke. We had some pretty
Yeah.
good times
yeah,
and just made sure we had a lot of fun.
that's great. But Luke, what would you say? What are your three words? If you can't use the same ones as he did, what were
Okay.
your three words for the year?
I would start off with growth. I mean, I've seen a lot of growth with myself this last year. I do believe that it has made me a better leader and a better communicator. All the trainings that we went through and everything, I've seen them reflected not just in my time in FFA, going about to other chapters, but just in my time in Kentucky Farm Bureau and just talking with other people. I've seen that I'm a better person, a better leader because of my time in this organization. I'm very grateful for that, but also just I would say fun. Like he said, we've had a blast, and I feel like I've expanded my friend group and my family, not just by the 12 people that I'm on or 11 people I'm on an officer team with, but with FFA members throughout the state. It has been an amazing experience to grow those relationships with them. And it's even kind of ironic. Some of the chapters that were rivals with my home chapter when I was in FFA as a member, just going to competitions, have been some of my best friends now as a state
Yeah,
FFA officer. So it's been a little bit weird, but I've loved every moment. I've never
yeah.
went anywhere that I've regretted it with FFA. It's been an awesome time, but I would
You
have to
really?
say,
Okay.
like you said, impactful. Just seeing
Okay.
the impact they've made on me and seeing the impact that I've made on others, I've been really gracious for that opportunity.
Okay. Use two of the three words that Trenton used, Luke.
Great minds
Just
think
kind of
alike.
used one.
It's good. So, it, we do, you talked about growth. We do expect you to grow this year. You know, as state staff, you get coaching, you get a lot of feedback to help you grow. I saw a quote the other day that said sometimes the best leaders can take constructive criticism, maybe, but they can take constructive feedback better because if you can take it and hear it and respond, people will keep growing you. If you can't take it, people will just stop telling you and then you are stuck. Have you agreed with that? How have you grown this year? What have been some of those maybe hard lessons that you have learned through leadership and high expectations this year?
I would
Whoever
have
else
to,
moved, go Luke. Yeah.
sorry. I would have to say, definitely with my etiquette, when I came into FFA or state office, I did not exactly know a lot of the etiquette rules, like
Mhm,
how to eat, like the forks, which ones when you get sit down
mhm.
and it's a nice
Sure.
arrangement, or how do you roll. But I've learned so much with that. Like just following the leader. You know, you look around the table, you find the most important person there, and you kind of follow their lead, and that will help us so much. And I've used that so many times with state things, and then also with Farm Bureau. You know, I'm sitting down at the table with the president. I'll just watch what he's doing. When he does something, I know to do it. It's a great time.
Okay. So Luke, that's a good feedback. We do etiquette training. And we don't expect you to know everything. Not many people get to eat at formal plated dinners with all of the forks and spoons and things that you mentioned. But what we do share, what I hope you take is I want you to be able to walk in any room and feel that you can be yourself and be confident that you know how to act in those situations.
Yeah.
And that's why we teach you that. Has that made you a better leader this year, being able to feel comfortable?
For sure. Also going to chapters, you know, walking in some of these chapters that I've went to and been expected to like teach them. I've never been there before. So already that's kind of a scary feeling for me walking into this school I've never been, having to be shown where the ag department is and then expecting to teach them. So knowing like having that confidence of I know what I'm doing and people aren't going to instantly undermine me because I'm acting like a fool, it really helps me to know like go in there and teach them about leadership or teamwork or anything like that and just know that I'm putting on a professional face and really doing a good job. And I still make jokes. I'm still myself. I have fun with them, but I want them to walk away learning something. And I feel like that's greatly helped me as well, knowing how to give workshops. And we've went through a bunch of trainings for that. So
Yeah.
I've just seen growth in every aspect of the word. I've seen it.
Yeah, that's great. We want to give you the tools to be humbly confident in wherever you walk. All right, Trenton, what about you? What are some of those life lessons you've learned this year?
I'd definitely say having a lot of different things on your plate with your priorities. Like you said, I'm a student in the University of Kentucky. I'm a state officer, and also back home, I run my own cow-calf operation. So I have quite a different few bit of things going on. Along with that, family life and the relationships with friends. So it can get to be quite a lot. And all of high school, I kind of thought that I was busy, but I definitely wasn't. And I think that I'm busy now, but my mom tells me every day, you're not busy until you become a real grown up and get a job, and then you'll understand how busy you really are. So I'm not looking forward to that. But I think just being able to balance my priorities. It's really hard being a student and a state officer and having all those different things going on. But it's really important to get a calendar set in stone, which state staff is really good about being clear with that and helping us get that in order when we first started this year. And then also just understanding where does your priorities rank. So for me, like state office in school was always at the top of my priorities, but I also had to find time to spend time with my little sister Carly. She's 12 and she's a very, important developmental time of her life. She's about to join FFA. So, make sure to do as much as I can with her. And also my mom and dad, they've gave so much to me and I don't just want to, quit talking to them because I have a lot of stuff going on. So it's a lot of hard priorities to balance, but it's also important to realize this is once in a lifetime opportunity. Try and take advantage of it as best as you can, while also not letting everything else just kind of fall off.
Yeah, it is hard. We ask you all to balance a lot. People need to know we have high expectations for our officers, and it's not easy, but has it been worth it? As you all are finishing up, you got 2 weeks left. Has it been worth it?
It's certainly been worth it. As I go throughout the year, it seems like the further I get in, the more and more I realize just how cool this opportunity is. We're wrapping up banquet season right now, so it's kind of my last time going to around my region, seeing all the members and schools and advisors that I grew up talking to, and some of my best friends. And it's kind of sad, but at the same time, the next generation, it's time for them to come up. So it's very, very important to me that we set that standard for what a state officer should be and a good member in FFA, just so that as we go throughout our year, we can make sure that, as we're wrapping up, we really did make the impact that we should have. And if we all did that to our region, ideally, every member in Kentucky FFA should know what a good FFA member
Yeah.
should look like. But yeah, an amazing time, meant a lot.
Yeah. Blake, what about you?
It was definitely worth it.
Okay.
It was an awesome experience from seeing how other states work to seeing how other chapters work to just meeting all types of people. It has been something I wouldn't trade for the world. It's probably one of my, it's like a year-long vacation. Even though, like you said, it's very stressful. It's a lot of work. Everything I did with FFA, I always loved it. I never wished it would end. It was. I still don't wish it would end now, and we got about 2 weeks left. But
Yeah.
I've been very grateful for this opportunity, and it's been amazing. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, another job that you all have had as state officers as you were traveling and visiting and speaking at all these events is that you all are the catalyst for planning State FFA Convention. and the themes and what people will really see on stage and the experiences that our students get to have when they come to Lexington. So this episode will air next Monday. And so students can hear it a week before state convention. So why don't you guys give them a preview? Your team created the theme. Trenton, why don't you tell us what the theme is and how y'all chose it?
Yeah, so our theme this year is under one roof. So the emblem is almost like it's like a barn with a roof on top of it. So that's pretty literal. When we were thinking it through, we were thinking our goal was to talk about how all members are together in one place. FFA, as we know, people say it's a home or a community or family. And it might sound a little cliche at times, but it really is the truth. All of my best friends in life come from FFA. All my best experiences come from FFA. And now we're gathering all in one spot to celebrate it all together. So we thought that Under One Roof did a really good job of kind of just conveying that message. And it's almost like a cryptic at first. You kind of have to think about, okay, what do they mean under one roof? Then you realize everybody coming together, all together in one spot. That's what FFA is, and that's what convention should be.
Yeah, that's great. So we have a lot of speakers who are going to be with us at State FFA Convention. Luke, who are you the most excited to hear from?
I'm excited about Dallin Cooper. I
Okay.
said that right,
Yeah,
Dallin?
you did. Dallin
Okay.
Cooper.
I've seen him, like we read through his thing. He seems like an awesome guy. He's excited. Like he seems like an energetic guy. I definitely think everyone will be more excited and more hyped up for a convention after he gives his presentation than before. Because I mean, I was more hyped up after just reading through his pamphlet and then just hearing more and more about him as we go. I mean, he seems like an exciting man. Like I'm hyped for that.
Okay. So he's our keynote speaker. Trenton, what
Yeah.
about you? Who are you most excited to hear from?
Gotta be Mark Pope. I mean, when I seen that, my face lit up with enjoyment. I was texting everybody I know, talking about it. We was texting in the state officer group chat, talking about how excited we was. And this is really a once in a lifetime opportunity. He's done so much for the state of Kentucky already. With the storms that were going on in London, I seen videos of him and his family up on the roofs, helping get all that in order. So it's really cool to see such a down to earth person who's willing to come and talk to the next generation of leaders. You can tell that he really does care a lot about our communities, and he's the Kentucky basketball coach, so that's pretty cool as well. Growing up being a Kentucky basketball fan my whole life, this is like a dream come true. I'm gonna try to get as much conversation in the 5 minutes backstage as I can, I guess.
Yeah, you should. Do you have anything you're like trying to get him to sign or anything that
I
you're
might
ready?
I might try to get him to put like the L's down for Louisville and send it to my friend that's a Louisville friend.
I don't know if he'll do. If he does, that'll be great for you to have. We'll
I might
see.
go like viral on the internet if he does.
Yeah, maybe so. Wow. Well, we also have FFA members in Louisville, so we have to also be, like we like him
Absolutely, yeah.
too. Yeah.
But a
Um,
good rivalry is always
no,
perfectly
sure.
fine.
Yeah, it's good. He could definitely do it. So what has FFA convention preparation looked like for you guys? I do want to hear, if we have anybody who comes to state convention for the first time, especially adult or sponsors, they go, do those officers have all of that memorized? And so my question
Yeah.
is, do you have it all
I can
memorized?
start. I can start this one. Yes. So back in December, we started planning our convention, which might have seemed like a long time ago, but I promise you, it takes a very, very, very long time to memorize all those things. So yes, to answer your question, everything that we do is memorized. So we spend months and months getting our scripts together, what we're going to say, just so we make sure that we're conveying the messages we want. If we went off the top of our heads, a lot of the stuff that we wanted to say probably would not get executed correctly. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for us to, get our messages across to members. So we want to make sure that we do that through memorizing our scripts. And I would just say to sponsors and the people that are there, even members the first time coming to convention, just try everything that we have to offer. Make sure you walk around the expo. Make sure you talk to all the different sponsors at their booths. Try to come to all the sessions that you can. Because I remember whenever I was a member, I didn't always take advantage of all those opportunities. I was kind of tired some parts of the week. Would rather have went and took a nap than go and talk to members. But looking back on it now, I wish that I would have tried everything that we had to offer. So I'd urge you at least one day to try something new at convention to make sure that you get the best experience.
That's great, Trenton. Luke, what has preparation been like for you on your end? And what do you hope members get to take advantage of?
For me, I get to do the welcome. And so the first time me and Jameson worked on it, we sat down, we called each other, we kind of just started typing it up, and we were like, wow, we got 8 pages of content here. We are like, that was easy. This is going to be a breeze. And then over the next 3 months, we got notes from state staff and comments and just over and over of having to fix this and fix that. And like it was not a breeze. It was not that one day sitting down. It was 3 months of work, and then now we're memorizing, meeting together once a week and calling each other every single day to make sure that the progression is still on of memorizing all of our lines. And that's just in our welcome. There's still all the ceremonies like the honorary state degree and the retiring officers and all of those that we got to do. So, I mean, it's a lot more than I ever knew about.
Yeah.
But
Trenton
I'm
has a
excited.
retiring address to memorize. It's a lot. But here's why. And we tell you all this is that imagine how you all felt your first year getting to walk in the state convention. If you're a freshman or in high school or whatever grade you were in, but you were excited to get to be there. You've been told this is a big deal. You worked hard to say your speech or work on your proficiency or be on the Parley team, and you get to come to this culminating moment where you get to walk across stage at state convention. We want our FFA members from Kentucky to feel in awe the whole time and to know what I've done locally is a big deal. This is a big deal. I have worked hard, and we want to honor their hard work by you guys being prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a high honor, and you guys are going to have a great convention. They've worked hard, and I can't wait for you all to see it. So, any parting thoughts before we move on to our last 3 questions for folks coming to convention?
I'm excited to see all the members walking around. Just make sure to take advantage of all the opportunities you can. But I'll tell you, whenever I was a junior and I went to convention, I got one of the bags from like the sponsors and went around and talked to every single sponsor and got all the pamphlets and all the free stuff. You can rack up a pretty good goodie bag if you went and talked to everybody.
Yes, you can. Yeah, it's definitely good. So people can see the spotlight stage in the expo hall. There's something happening there the whole time at convention, whether it's the talent contest, Shark Tank, speaking finals. And then we have expo. We have, I think, over 60 vendors this year who are coming for shopping, schools, career opportunities. You can really get connected to a lot of people and explore what your future looks like, for sure. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap this up with the same 3 questions we ask everybody. The first is, what keeps you motivated as a leader? And so, Luke, we'll start with you. What's kept you motivated this year?
Well, kind of even through like all the, I don't want to say tough times, but just exhausting weeks. When you look at your calendar and you have 2 or 3 engagements every single day of the week, and you think this is going to be rough. I think about when I decided I wanted to be a state officer. It was back in freshman year, and a state officer had such a great impact on my life that made the last 4 years of my life, or 5 years, all go into motion of wanting to be that leader within my chapter and be like prepare myself to be that state officer where I can be a good leader and a good team worker to where I can work well for Kentucky FFA. And I want to be just as good as that person was. And I don't want to say, well, I'm sorry, I couldn't encourage you today because I'm tired. I always try to keep in mind the members that are just like me, that they might not know if this organization is for them yet, or maybe they're getting a little bit burnt out and they need a pick me up. I want to be that person that is going to be there and is never going to fail to be exciting and just hype them up and make sure they know that they belong.
Okay, that's great, Luke. All right, Trenton, what's kept you motivated this year?
Mine's kind of similar to Luke's, but so starting off in FFA, I wasn't super involved. Just became involved my sophomore year of high school. I'd always took ag classes, loved agriculture, but FFA I didn't really think was for me. I was scared to death of public speaking. And then last year's State Sentinel, Emmy Lou Miller, was the chapter reporter, I believe, at the time. And she would go on to become our chapter president and a state officer, as we know. And she just sat down one day and talked to me and made me realize that I had a spot in FFA, even if it wasn't public speaking or competing in contest. I could be on an officer team and help better my community and do so many different things through FFA that aren't always talked about when, in your freshman year ag class and they're trying to get people involved with the creed and quiz and seed ID. But they don't talk about how you can go to events and give back to your community, or you can go to the elementary school and talk to kids about how important agriculture is. And I just try to make sure that as I go throughout the state, in order to stay motivated, think back to when Emmylou helped me and the point that I was at in my life and look to where I'm at now. I'm not anything special. None of us are. We're all just people. But somebody invested enough time enough to where we can be where we are today. So if I can do that for other members, hopefully I can tap into some of their potential. And in turn, one day they will do the same to keep the tradition going.
That's awesome. Yeah. Somebody spoke life into you guys. You know, they encouraged you. It matters. Our words matter. And you all have gotten to do that this year. And I hope you keep doing it, you know, as it keeps going. So the Kentucky FFA Foundation, we are a philanthropy. You know, we people give back for the greater good. You can give back with your time, with talent, with treasure, your money. And so I'm going to ask you, I usually ask, what's the best way you have engaged in philanthropy this year for FFA? But I want to ask you, what is a way that you have experienced philanthropy through the FFA Foundation this year and how you've seen it grow another student, how it's grown you? What's your FFA Foundation philanthropy story?
Back at my home chapter, there was a student who was very, very interested in starting their own agricultural operation. And as you know, the Kentucky FFA Foundation gives out so many grants in order for students to get this going. We're an agriculture-based organization. That's our roots, and they really want to see agriculture stay in FFA, and the members who want to be involved with it have the opportunities. Because we know that, I mean, like Luke said, farming can be very, 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 very expensive to get into. So they just try to help out a little bit. So this year, I've seen two members from my home chapter, and I've talked to numerous members from other chapters who was able to receive those grants and talking about what they're able to do with that money and how it's going to better them in FFA. And I think back to my my junior year when I received one of those same grants. And it all comes full circle. How, you know, that donation that you may make to the Kentucky FFA Foundation, which seems like, you know, you don't know where the money is going to go at the time, but it really does go to a good cause. The people that work for the foundation do such a good job making sure that money is distributed the way that it needs to be and impacts members to the best ability as possible. So, as you know, if you're a sponsor listening, or even if you're a member, being able to help impact members in ways that aren't just, you know, through teaching or through time, whether it's donating a resource or actually reaching out and helping a member. There's so many different ways you can do that, and the FFA Foundation is a great way to channel it. And I've seen that a lot this year.
That's awesome, Trenton. To tell you all a little side note, we did some research on our State Star candidates for State Star in Ag Business, Ag Placement, State Star Farmer. It is the highest award we can bestow in FFA, and it recognizes the student's SAE experience. Out of all of the agribusiness nominees, one from each region, so 12 total, all of them have received an SAE grant from the Kentucky FFA Foundation at some point in their journey, and 4 of them are Shark Tank winners from past years. In total, I think out of the 36 students who are State Star finalists, I think that it's like 16 or 17 have received SAE grant support from the Kentucky FFA Foundation. So that just shows investing in students who really have a passion and they want to get started, they can really grow and have profitable businesses from the seeds that we plant. So pretty cool. Luke, what's the best way you've gotten to experience the FFA Foundation's philanthropy this year?
Well, just talking with other members and catching their testimonies and kind of seeing how it's helped them. I did not know about a lot of the grants when I was an FFA, or when I was a member, so I did not actually apply for any. But talking with some of the other state officers, I've heard Ty Elrod's testimony. He's the cattle farmer. That's that's what he is. He's got a bunch of them. He works with his grandpa. I got one of his hats in my room of Tap Cattle, and it was a SAE or a Shark Tank grant that helped him grow his operation. It helped give him some materials to better work his cattle and help with nutrition so he could grow his herd. And it's truly helped him. And seeing the way that it's not only helped engage him in FFA to the point where now it's made him where he's a state officer, I'm sure that helped him to fall in love with this organization, truly see what it did for him and want to give back, but also to see what it's done for his cattle operation. Talking to him, it's inspiring. I hope to have one like he does one day, how he engages with the community and supplies people with meat. It's an amazing experience. And to know that FFA had a big role in helping him get to where he's at.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah. You all have also gotten to meet so many sponsors and donors and visited companies, had dinners and lunches and all kinds of things with people who support FFA. What has been kind of your takeaway from those people? What are characteristics that you have seen that they all have when they're happy to support FFA?
I could start with this one. It seems like they never really look to be in the spotlight. I was talking to Mr. Nick Carter, who's a great friend of Kentucky FFA, a few days ago, and I'd mentioned how oftentimes people in the position where they're able to give back, not in FFA, but in other organizations or other facets of life, are kind of looking to be in the spotlight. They want their name in the bright lights. They want everyone to know, hey, look, I gave. And that's great. I'm glad that they did give. But it seems like in FFA, people are giving for a different reason. They're giving because they care about agriculture, they care about FFA, and more than anything, they just care about bettering the youth. And we see that a lot as, I was lucky enough to serve on the board this year for the foundation. So I had the opportunity to meet quite a bit of the sponsors. And it seems like that the people on there are just so genuine. They've seen what FFA can do for others. They see what agriculture do for others. And overall, they're just looking to help better the next generation of the youth. So it's really cool to see such genuine individuals all gather in one place.
Yeah, that's great. All right. So last question for you guys, and this is can be silly, serious, but whatever really is on your mind. And the question is, what is something that you cannot stop talking about? And maybe you could even answer it for each other. If you know, like, well, Trenton can't stop about this, Luke can't talk about this. So what, off your top of your mind, Luke, what is something you cannot stop talking about?
I mean, I can't stop talking about how much different the experience of state office is than I thought. Like, even after being a member and knowing some of the state officers, I did not see, half of what it was. I did not see all the times we'd go out and go to schools and all of the engagements. And going into it, I thought that I was going to like just going to chapters and talking with members. But after it all, I've enjoyed going and teaching so much more, to see those connected moments where someone realizes. It's almost made me consider going back to school and being an ag teacher, because I've loved to teach. And I've always said I wanted to be a teacher of agriculture, but I don't know about an agricultural teacher. So I'm still holding on to that. I might do something with the Farm Bureau or Beef Council, something along those lines, to still help be an educator of agriculture. But it has truly made me consider being an ag teacher, because I've loved to see it. And I've seen the connection that the teacher has with their members and how the impact they can have on their life. It's been a crazy thing. I just can't stop talking about it.
That's great. All right. That was a little bit of a serious one. So, all right, Trenton, what's something you cannot stop talking about?
Mine's a little more silly than Luke's, but it is very true still. So I'm gonna answer this one for me and Luke as well.
Okay.
Okay. So Luke, if you ever see him walking around, there's a very good chance he'll have a yoo-hoo in his hand. Now, if you don't know what a yoo-hoo is, it's like chocolate milk in a can where you got to shake it up. Luke absolutely loves yoo-hoos. For his birthday, we try to do like a birthday celebration for everybody on our team when it gets to be that time of the year. And Luke had like 50 24 packs of yoo-hoos that we had all got him like as much as we could. That's what everybody got him as a gift, because you didn't know what else to get Luke. He just loves them. And I'm sure they're already all gone. I mean, this guy absolutely loves yoo-hoos. I'm the same way. There's a drink in South Central Kentucky called Ski. And I absolutely love ski. So I'm in the same boat as Luke there. Secondly, I cannot stop talking about convention. Every member I see asks me if I'm excited, I'm ready to go. And we've got just a few weeks left. So it's kind of all starting to become real now. And I'm just so excited to see how it all turns out. I'm so excited to see all of the members in Kentucky.
Yeah.
I do feel about a 12 pack a week of them yoo-hoos. They're awesome.
They are. Yeah, Luke loves them.
Golly, guys. Well, bring them to convention, because once you all step in the Central Bank Center, State FFA officers, on Sunday night is really about the last time you see sunlight again until Thursday night when you walk out, because we keep your schedule packed from when you wake up till when you go to bed. And so, guys, you have 2 weeks left. We tell you this all the time. Soak up every moment, do your best, and when it's over, it happens. So make sure you did a job that you feel proud of. And that's what we've tasked you with the last 2 weeks. And for all those members who are going to be joining us at convention, I hope that you get to grab Trenton and Luke, tell them you've heard them on the podcast, and thank them for this wonderful year of service. And we hope you all love convention. Any last words, guys?
I'm excited to see everyone at convention.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you under one roof at State FFA Convention, June 10th, 11th, and 12th. So that's it. And guys, thanks for listening to this episode of Growing Kentucky's Leaders. Growing Kentucky's Leaders is a podcast brought to you by the Kentucky FFA Foundation. Our music is performed by Bourbon County FFA member Joe Fritch. Artwork is by Julie Fritch Creative. Your hosts are Sheldon McKinney and Ruth Ann Fink, and you can find us on all social platforms at Kentucky Kentucky FFA.